Hello, Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is Game 3 between ByuL and PartinG on King Sejong's Station, the Ladder Edition. This is from their quarterfinals match of WCS 2015 that wrapped up on June 28th in Toronto. So this is hot off the presses. This is an amazing ZVP series. Let's bring up the names and give ByuL a giant number 2. And there it is. So yeah, ByuL is up 2-0 on PartinG. I honestly did not see that result when I started casting this series. ByuL is a great Zerg player, but man, PartinG has stuff named after him like PartinG level force fields I might have mentioned in my Game 1 cast. But basically this build that ByuL is using where he goes Extractor Spawning Pool, gets 6 or 8 lings up and just tries to harass the dickens out of the Protoss player. If his wall isn't perfect, the lings get in, they harass forever, slowing down everything that the Protoss player wants to do until mutas show up and kill you, or maybe the lings just kill you themselves, because lings are pretty good, especially when they have speed against Protoss, assuming there aren't a lot of cannons or zealots out, and generally that is not the case in the early games. So we'll have to see what ByuL is up to in this particular game. Actually throwing down the proxy hatch. So up 2-0, needing 1 game to win the entire series, he decides to throw caution to the wind and toss down a proxy hatch at the front door of the Protoss player. What is going on? I don't know. A zealot immediately being chrono boosted to deal with this. I think he's going to be able to kill it before it finishes. I don't know. Zealots do a lot of damage, but one alone I don't think is enough. Might need a second zealot, and there it is. Another zealot coming on out, trying to take this thing down. We're not throwing up cannons, though. There might be a bit of an overreaction, but zealots to take this down might be good as well. Popping it out immediately. A queen, maybe? Zerglings? ByuL, you gonna do anything with this at all? No. Actually worried about having his natural blocked off by this pylon. The lings pop out. There we go. Getting some lings up here at the front door. And popping back out to try to hold the line are these zealots that take some damage from the broodlings, but I don't think it's enough. Especially not with the mothership core here. Let's slow things down just a little bit. Sorry about that. Things were really fast for a second there. So the lings, again, trying to snipe things down. There are only 2 of them. Is that all he made from this hatchery? I thought it was at least 4, but no. PartinG trying to wall this huge ramp off. Look at this ramp. This is crazy to wall off. I think my friend Walnut would go crazy trying to deal with this giant wall from PartinG, but either way, ByuL running around trying to see what he can see with these slowlings. There's not really a place to go. This is walled off with 2 zealots, not getting through that with that number of lings for sure, especially not with the mothership core overhead trying to kill everything on the ground. Finally manages to take his natural is ByuL. He might be on the back foot just a little bit here. It is 23 to 20 harvesters, 34 to 33 supply. And yeah, I think we're just kind of running around. Did we go? Where did those lings come from? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Were they hiding? I thought I saw more lings coming out here. Either way, lings managed to hide inside that natural base, running around, trying to do what they can, getting sniped off and killed. Do manage to snipe down a single probe, I think. So 2 total probes have died. More lings coming in here as well. Oh, the zealots got pulled out. Oh no, ByuL, you are so good with Zerglings. Trying to snipe down that, oh, couldn't get the sentry at the very end there. The sentry does survive. That's a huge thing for PartinG. Alright, so he hid lings here, I think. Ran them up here into the main base. When the zealots responded, leaving their post at the door, the lings out here ran in. That is just, that is some good mind gamery right there, ByuL. You are an amazing Zerg player. You are quickly becoming one of my favorite Zerg players, to be honest, the way you're handling PartinG this way. Again, I don't expect PartinG to go down without a fight. This is going to be a very close game, I have to imagine. It's not a crazy close or crazy early loss for the Zerglings like we saw in a previous game. I'm not going to try to spoil anything here, but that did definitely happen in one of these 2 games. Extractors coming up. We're teching a little bit here for ByuL. Might be dangerous. This attack coming out with these zealots and these sentries and a forward pylon being thrown down by PartinG could actually do a lot of damage here. We're trying to get a spine crawler up, but it might be a little bit too late. Those take forever to build. I hate them so much. Lings pop out and say, oh, there's an attack on the way. If there are sentries out this far across the map, I'm going to be attacked. I think we might see drone production stop pretty much altogether here. 1 drone on the way. Roach Warren just about to pop. He needs roaches so bad. I lied. ByuL saw that and said, I can handle this, and is making 9 drones at once right now. Okay, this explains why I'm not a professional level Zerg player in Starcraft 2, because I would have seen that attack and panicked like crazy and made 1,000,000 lings and 1,000,000 roaches and been behind economically. But instead, ByuL just makes a ton of workers, sends up his Zerglings to the front door saying, oh, so you're not actually walled off anymore? The zealots are down this way. We're going to make some harassment here on your front and try to kill things as we can. He's kind of throwing these lings away, though. They're not being micro. Okay, there we go. They are being micro now and running away. Again, just trying to find forward pylons, trying to use some good micro here to take down this zealot. Might be able to, but no. The sentries come out and tickle everything to death. Hallucinated Phoenix coming right on in to see exactly what a Zerg player is doing. Protoss players, if you're watching, be sure to use that Hallucinated Phoenix to get a perfect scout on the Zerg every single time. It is a really, really good maneuver. It only costs you energy. So, let's see how much hallucination is. L. Actually, does that cost energy? I always thought that cost energy. No? I don't know. Some Protoss player tell me. I haven't played enough Protoss to actually know that for sure, which is kind of embarrassing. Sentries, I don't really use them when I play team games in Protoss, which again, I make fun of them, but they're pretty hard to use in the end. A hallucination, is it free? Answer me in the comments below. Let me know that I'm stupid or smart, whichever it is. And we will see. Burrowing those roaches very intelligently here. Roaches popping in and out. There's a single spine crawler. All these overlords are up here. They might get sniped down to supply block our player for the Zerg. But here we come on in. The roaches trying to get that surround. The pincer move is up. The zealots going to town on the roaches on the front door. Everybody just focusing on trying to kill this hatchery. And then I think we're going to try to recall out of their forces. The cancel. The drone gets killed as well. And that's it. The recall, boop, gets everybody back home safe and sound to this natural. Here they are now. And PartinG has to feel pretty good about himself after that attack. Taking down this hatchery really slowed down ByuL's economy. He wanted to have that third base here at the 10-minute mark. The roaches are mad, and they kill a pylon. In retribution, they're going to try to come up and maybe try to deny the third base of our friend ByuL. Burrowing a Zergling here is super annoying. There's an observer, though, so no big deal. Probably won't delay things too long. But either way, the army comes on up and says, alright, everything looks clear. Haha, but there's a burrowed Zergling being very, very sneaky. Secret agent burrowed Zergling. Burrowed roaches coming up as well. Very slowly, not being scouted by anything, because that Phoenix cannot see things that are burrowed. Hallucinated Phoenix coming around for that scout again, but here come the burrowed roaches along the right side, trying to see if they can snipe down this nexus. They might be able to if they get right up under in the middle inside of these things and kill all of the sentries. And the zealots as well. I don't know. Zealots are really good. Just right up in close quarters like that. So interesting combination of units to pretty much be the anti-roach. But here we come. Popping on up, trying to get these guys out of position and managing to do so. Taking a few pot shots off on this Nexus. Going to try to do it. It is very close to one. Bam. And that's it. Going to burrow. Burrow move out of there. Where's the observer? Where's the observer? Here's the observer. And all these roaches are in a lot of trouble now. Revenge on the death of that Nexus. All these burrowed roaches are just a little bit too slow. Time warp going down to slow them down even more. And the final roach on this side actually manages to escape. These guys are still alive up here. Going to try to snipe down the Nexus again. Is there enough DPS to actually do it is the question. There is, but it's going to take a long time with only 4 roaches and the +1 upgrade. Are we going to get it? No, we are not. Going to try to burrow down. But no, the observer's here. All these roaches are going to die again. Roaches popping up here as well. Trying to kill workers on the left side. Burrowed roaches over here at the same time. How did we burrow? I don't know. Burrowed roaches everywhere. ByuL is a god with these roaches. Holy cow. Actually managed to kill 9 workers there. Up to 12 total probes have died for PartinG at 67 to 48 supply. 3 base to 3 base though. This base is finally being established for PartinG. But man, ByuL has been macroing like crazy on the back of this. I don't think PartinG is going to get 3-0'd here, but it does not look good for him right now. That is for sure. Overseer Cocoon is popping up to create an Overseer as well. And here we come. PartinG says, no, I am not happy about these burrow roach shenanigans. I recognize I'm behind economically. As a Protoss player, I cannot just sit back and let Zerg do whatever he wants. I need to get up there. I need to kill a base or 2 or 3 or just straight kill him at this point. The composition of choice for ByuL is going to be Hydras and 15 roaches on the way while upgrading to a hive here. Yikes. Hydras are super good against this particular composition. It's going to murder everything here. Except maybe, I don't know, force fields are good if we have PartinG level force fields, right? Either way, here we come. Roaches in the front, Hydras in the back, catching a few roaches and Hydras, dying there to the units that are trying to kill them, obviously. Mothership Core could just recall everybody home if she doesn't like what she sees here. Positioning both of the armies at places they want to be. Are we sending up more burrowed roaches? We are sending more burrowed roaches for shenanigans. Trying to get up here, trying to see what they can kill. Probably killing some workers here at the third base, but the army is pretty big and threatening the third. If they seize the fourth, you could probably kill that as well, but doesn't know the fourth base is there. Oh no, PartinG, you can see it. You can kill things. Just a warp prism as well. Able to warp in reinforcements to the front door, and the harassment is here. The roach is killing probes left and right. Another one gets sniped down. A total 4 have died to those roach hit squad. Burrow roach hit squad is pretty good, almost like DTs. Pretty much a lot like DTs, actually, except range, which is nice. So Roaches and Hydras up here trying to do what they can, but no, the force fields, again, keeping everybody away from this group, sniping down what they can from behind the force fields is parting. More Overlords actually coming up here. These Roaches are still alive, getting chased down. 3 drones have died. Back here to the action, though. This guy at the front, the Immortal, is doing a ton of work. Has 5 kills already, up to 6. Really going to town on these Roaches. Time Warp, Force Fields, just making ByuL have a really difficult time defending this base. Sniping it down, focusing it down is parting, and bam, the base dies, and that is it. Third base has been destroyed for ByuL. Exactly what parting wanted to affect here. And actually, does he see the creep? I think he sees the creep. He knows there's creep here. He knows there's a base. He might try to snipe down the 4th base and then just recall out of there because a lot of Roaches and Hydras are coming in. Vipers coming in as well. What are the Vipers going to do? Throw it on Blinding Cloud. Maybe a yoink? I don't know. But finally, the Immortal dies. That's a nice pickup. But these Stalkers have +2 upgrades. They are super dangerous right now. Roaches actually do have +2 upgrades as well at the same time as the Hydras. But yanking in the Warp Prism and sniping it down, that was nice. I like that. No more reinforcements for you. And just going to pretty much make a stand here as parting, using the Blink Stalker micro to keep the Stalkers alive as long as possible. Roaches in the front, Hydras in the back. But no, ByuL decides to back out, which means a blink forward. It's going to take a lot of these reinforcing units away. Essentially on 2 bases is ByuL. It's 57 and 63 supply, 114 to 114. This base going to get sniped down as well. ByuL going to try to replant the 3rd, but not going to be able to do it. There it is. There comes the 3rd base. It's a little bit late, but in the end, that was huge. That was a huge attack from parting. Crazy, incredible play here from both players. The forward pylon goes down. No reinforcements for sure for now at parting. But again, the force fields keeping the Roaches isolated from their friends. There are just a few Roaches and Hydras left. The Viper is here, but I'm not sure what she wants to attack. A blink forward again with these Blink Stalkers, trying to focus down the Vipers, taking down everything at this point, not really focusing anything, just has enough DPS to snipe a lot of this stuff down, but pulling drones off the line to help is ByuL, forcing this to attack back. Woo! Wow, been non-stop there for about 2 or 3 minutes. 6 drones have died in the last couple of minutes, 10 drones to 20. So parting's ahead that way, but again, no 3rd base here yet for ByuL. He is long distance mining, but 3 base to 3 base is not where you want to be. He wants to have a 4th base, if at all humanly possible, but this Blink Stalker attack is just killing him at this point. Templar Archives on the way, as well as a Dark Shrine. There's an Overseer that helps against the Dark Templar, but again, Storm would be so good in this composition to deal with these Roaches and these Hydralisks. The Blink Stalkers, again, I think they're outnumbered here, but the micro from parting has just been so good. It doesn't really matter. Picking off units here and there, the Blink Stalkers blinking back when they get wounded, and then coming back again, blinking on in to kill what they can, snipe down things like this Overlord, and just kind of waiting for reinforcements. I think now is parting. This base has finally finished. It is oversaturated with 22 workers, probably going to put 6 or so on these extractors as soon as humanly possible. And here we come. Warp Prism, going to warp in Templar, perhaps, warp in Dark Templar. I'm going to try to take care of these workers in the main, possibly the workers here in the natural, but I think the reinforcements are farther away here in the main. Again, Blink Stalkers coming on up, sniping down a queen. Did we get a queen there? We did. Roaches, Hydras, a goodly number, forces the blink away. We did run away, and where did that thing go? Warp Prism just kind of stopped. What are you doing, Warp Prism? You got to get in there and warp in units. That's what you are built to do, right? Dark Templar, here we go. Dark Templar did make it over here. The units did burrow in response, but 5 drones ended up dead. The drone count is increasing steadily, up to 15 now. Have been lost for ByuL. Parting doing what he can and warping in what? Zealots? Okay, so Zealots warping in, getting back into the Warp Prism. Gonna try to come down here and maybe kill stuff at the natural. Again, at the main, I don't know what the intent is. Blink Stalker just being so annoying. So hard to kill Blink Stalker. Now that Fungal Growth got nerfed, I know that was earlier in a build in Heart of the Swarm, but since that got nerfed, you really can't keep them still. And a good Blink Stalker attack can just keep them alive, pick off units here and there, pretty much kill you with a bunch of little paper cuts. Death by, what is it? Death by a million paper cuts is the phrase there. A 4th base coming up for parting. ByuL is in a lot of trouble. Going to try to move on up here and see what he can do, but the Warp Prism comes in at just the right moment. Can't decide what base to go to, and then actually comes on over and is going to drop right into all of these units, dropping the Zealots and warping in. What is the question? Oh, tried to warp in a Dark Templar, I think, but ended up losing it. Yeah, so okay, not the best special tactics there, parting. Maybe watch White Rod, trying to figure out what you want to do with that. But either way, Roach is moving on up. How are their upgrades doing? +2, not really interested in getting +2 armor, or +1 armor for that matter. I think basically realizing that Protoss, their damage is so high, even +3 Roaches isn't really enough to keep them alive. in most situations. Trying to get a good concave here. Feedback going down on the Overseer. Roach is sniping down a couple Stalkers here, trying to go back to a more advantageous position. Storm coming down as well on top of those Roaches. The Overseer finally dies. A lot of Templar are here. It's 164 to 168 supply, but the tech is a lot higher for PartinG. Again, force fielding off just a small group of units, burning them down, not losing anything at all is PartinG. His control is just so good. The Warp Prism being a constant threat here, forcing ByuL to keep an eye on it instead of just dealing with this massive ball heading down the map. Gonna zoom on out, gonna take a look. There's a Dark Templar in the group, but there are two Overseers sniping down both the Overseers, though, instantly killing them. The Dark Templar are a lot more effective now, that is for sure. The Roach is trying to get a concave, but again, force fields come up, a burrow move away from those units so they don't actually die. Dark Templar trying to get in there. As soon as those force fields pop, they're gonna get in and start doing some damage, and that's it. ByuL calls the GG. PartinG is victorious here in game number 3, and it's 2-1 now in this best of 5. ByuL does not get the 3-0 off. I don't know if it was a great decision to do that proxy hatch. It got scouted pretty much immediately by PartinG, as you imagine it would have to, just because PartinG is such a great game. So either way, thank you so much for watching. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, /Falcon Paladin. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.